Hello there. I'm Dr. Amy Morgenstern from Blue Stars and Missions Consulting, and I'm sitting here in this lovely outdoor area by the Ross School of Business at the University of Michigan. This is my second day on campus. I got very lucky and was able to do two tours. One was a private tour with a computer science student who just graduated, and I did that tour through an organization called Scala. And we'll put that in the liner notes of the video. It's quite a cost-effective way to meet up with an actual student at the actual university that you're touring. And it was a wonderful time, and I'll be referring to my time with Antara. I'm having one fantastic time at the University of Michigan, home of the Wolverines. And if you're a sports enthusiast, this is the school for you, especially if you like football, basketball, ice hockey, swimming, diving, and softball. At University of Michigan, you'll find 33,700 undergraduates, and that there are 682,000 living alum. So that's quite a lot of alum that you can tap into. The tour guide told us there are 1,600 clubs. The brochure says there are 1,700 clubs, but you won't be lacking in clubs. University of Michigan is ranked number 2 in the category of public research institutions in the U.S., according to National Science Foundation. And Niche considers Ann Arbor one of the best cities to live in. Well, as many of the families we work with know in the Bay Area, University of Michigan is home to a very highly ranked engineering program. But it is also home to a very prestigious art program and an extremely highly ranked public policy program. In fact, almost any program you enroll in here is going to be extremely highly esteemed. If you want to, capture University of Michigan in sort of one word, and this is the word each of my tour guides used, and they didn't know each other, totally separate situations: resources. You have resources. I mean, not just these amazing programs and not just the amazing faculty, but you also have, you're well stocked with advisors. I'll just put it that way. You get a freshman advisor, and then you will have your advisor in your major area of study. But also, if you decide to minor, you will have an advisor in your minor area. If you go pre-professional, your pre-med, your pre-law, you'll have an advisor there. And that's one of the things I know that students we've known who have gone to the University of Michigan say, that there's really a lot of help. So even though it's such a large school, you have that smaller feeling because there is so much support. There's also the housing. So aside from there being guaranteed housing for, at least for first-year students, I know that much, so everybody lives on campus, you can also live in these designated areas. I think it's all called honors housing. You apply for it. And so you get to your first year, you get to hang out and take your first year classes with like-minded students and move from room to room when you're studying studying for your exam. So it gives you that more of that homey feel. So University of Michigan also has that as well. You also don't have to choose in a narrow way. So for example, Sabrina, our tour guide through the admissions office today, is a political science and public policy political science major and public policy minor. While Antara, the tour guide I was with yesterday, she's a computer science major, but she was a business minor. And that business minor played a really big role. In fact, I have footage. She took me inside, and I have footage of Ross. She did a minor. It's 5 classes, but what the minor also gave her access to was all of the clubs, and particularly a networking fraternity that she pledged for. She got in, and through that, she was able to network with Ross School alum. She got an internship that then led to the full-time job she's looking forward to. So here's a really great instance where you're so well resourced, You don't necessarily have to sacrifice a ton to be able to have both depth and breadth and to find real world opportunities. And that's exactly what Antara did. She, as I said to her yesterday, she's sort of living the dream. She got into University of Michigan as a computer science student. She got an internship, and now she has a job right out of college. So not bad. And the cool thing about the tour yesterday was I was able to go to the North Campus. Okay. That's where the computer science and engineering programs are. So right now, where Ross is, this is the main campus. It might be called the South Campus. But then there's a North Campus, which is like a 15-minute bus ride. And so North Campus houses the College of Engineering, School of Music, Theater, and Dance, the College of Architecture and Urban Planning, the School of Art and Design, and the School of Information. And the architecture there is quite different. In fact, it's maybe a little bit more like Ross, a little bit on some level. So, and Ross architecture is also very interesting. You can see right here behind me the terracotta and the green glass. This is a contemporary building that really, I would say, contrasts or complements the more sort of revival architecture, more typical of this part of the campus. So it's cool, it's neat. But then the North Campus, where you have the College of Engineering, it also has a different feel, a much more contemporary feel, much more sort of minimalist feel. So you just have a very different sense of even a visual landscape when you move from one part of the campus to another, it's just super interesting. You can live on the North Campus and be a major here anywhere. In the main campus, you can be a computer science major and live in this area. It doesn't matter. And I've heard that people do it either way. I'm thoroughly impressed. I had a great time. Every single person I met on campus, just from people showing me around, telling me where to go, people in the art museum. The art museum is absolutely beautiful. Some stunning 20th century, large scale paintings, beautiful abstract work. There's a fantastic contemporary exhibition there, dealing with Asian and Asian American identity, which is really just excellent. And so the thing about, being here, and I've taught in the Midwest. I used to live in the Midwest. That's where my academic career was. So. And it's always it's fun and refreshing to come back here because there is something about the Midwest. And when you hear that people are really nice, they really are really nice. And this is not a superficial comment. It's really a comment about what your life could be here. And so now I just want to tell you, what kind of student will really thrive at the University of Michigan. So the kind of person who would thrive at the University of Michigan is a student who's intense, who's really smart, but also likes to take the edge off. Also likes just to be a little chill. So is it the person who's going to study 18 or 20 hours a day and not have a lot of fun, and not kick back, not go to sport events? That's not a University of Michigan student. University of Michigan student is very, very serious, very, very ambitious, but they've got that chill. They've got that Midwestern chill, or they learn to vibe. So I'll just sum this up by saying, if you're a very serious student who works very hard, and you really love sports, and you love a strong campus spirit, but you could dispense with the intensity of the East Coast and the West Coast, at least for college. And I think the University of Michigan presents this perfect blend of challenge, chill, and achievement. And I hope you give it a further look, and I hope this video is helpful to you. Thanks, and take care from Blue Stars, where personal growth leads the way.